Dr. Robb Kelly. Welcome to the Dad Edge, my friend.
Thank you, Larry. Good to be here. Hey, guys, great to see you today.
Oh, man, it's good to have you on. So we're talking a lot about trauma, how to navigate trauma, perhaps what it even does to the mind and the body. But I'm very, very curious. How did you even get started in this space?
Well, alcoholic and addict as a young kid. Started drinking at the age of 9. Alcoholism in the family. My dad, my mom, brothers, aunties and uncles, and me as well. And, so through my lifetime, I lost my wife and my 2 kids and my houses and my sports cars and my holiday homes and ended up homeless living on the street for about 14 months. And I mean, literally sleeping under trees, not couch surfing, I was truly homeless. And I swore to myself, Larry, if I ever got off the streets, which 97% of people in Manchester, England, die on the streets, that I would spend the rest of my life finding out what it's all about, finding out why we're suffering from alcoholism and addiction, and nobody has any way to treat it. And then we stumbled across childhood trauma, which is everything that we do today is related to the childhood trauma. And a lot of people go, I haven't got trauma, I had a great life. You have trauma if your life today is unmanageable and you came from a dysfunctional family. It's always there and it ruined your life. And to sit there on your own, you can't correlate the both. You need a third party to go, this here is why you're doing this here. And all of a sudden the light bulb comes on. It's about clearing that.
Wow. So 14 months you lived on the streets?
Yeah, just begging and stealing vodka and sleeping on the benches and getting into fights every day and bare knuckle fighting to get money to buy the vodka if I could steal. So yeah, it was a horrendous part of my life. But it wasn't the downside. That's when they took my children off it. That was the downside. So the streets, I just wanted to die. So I wasn't really, I just wanted to die. I wasn't really bothered about the living on the streets part.
So I have a question for you. If you could rewind the tape, and I would love for you to just share, what was the lowest of lowest living on the streets? What was the moment you're like, holy crap, and here I am?
It was the first night when because I come from the projects, I'd made something of myself and made, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions. So furthest from my mind was being homeless. I mean, goodness me, with all that money. But eventually I did because of alcoholism. And I wasn't a dad anymore. I just wasn't a dad. And the lowest point was the first night. And I'm sat there on the first night and it's about 9 o'clock and it's pouring down and it's cold. And I'm sat there with a bottle of vodka, sat in a bus stop, trying to keep warm. And all of a sudden I think, where the hell did that go wrong? But it crept up on me. It crept up with the stuff I did. And in the end, I was drinking night and day. And it was a really crazy place to be because no longer could I see my children. In fact, 32 years on, Larry, I still haven't seen my youngest, which was 1 year old. She was 1 year old when the authorities took them off me. Still not seen her. I have the other one. She got in contact 4 years ago and now works for me. But yeah, it was a horrendous part of my life.
My gosh. Okay. So my mind is just spinning here. I didn't expect really any of this, but I'm so appreciative that you're sharing this. Okay. So what was the moment living on the streets and you're like, okay, I'm going to get back on track here. What happened?
Well, for me, it was a spiritual awakening that happened. I wasn't capable of getting back on track, but one Sunday night, Monday morning thing, about 2 or 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm walking down the back end of Manchester, which is factories and, stores, no people there. And it was pouring down with rain. And I just dropped down to my hands and knees and I started to cry like a baby. Now, the reason I was crying is not because I'd lost the money, the houses, cars, holiday homes, wife and children. I was crying from my stomach because I realized that right there, that moment, that I could never stop drinking. And I looked up to the sky and the rain was hitting me in the eyes. And I said, if there's a God up there, I can't do this on my own anymore. 30 seconds later, in the middle of nowhere, my life changed when a guy come around the corner and asked me, do I need help? He'd missed his last bus home from his Bible study, and he was walking a different route home for about 2 hours, and he came across me. Yeah. Oh, it gets crazier than that, Larry. That's just.
Well, no, let's keep going. Let's hear that.
Well, I went back to his house, and he said, "You can stay here for as long as you want. I'm a Christian. I'm also a recovering alcoholic, but you've got to come to these AA meetings with me." And I didn't want to go. I hated them AA meetings, but I went because it was a dry bed for the night and several nights. And while I was there listening to the old war stories and stuff from these older men, there was a guy there, and he said, "My name's John. I'm a recovered alcoholic." And he talks about, stuff from the book, and he related a little bit of neuroscience. Anyway, I went to ask him, can he sponsor me? And he said, no, I'll be your spiritual advisor for 12 weeks. I went there, Larry, every Wednesday night. I walked an hour to his house, spent an hour with him, an hour back for 12 weeks, every Wednesday. And he taught me lots of stuff. He taught me, you'll be a father again. You'll be this, you'll be this, 12 weeks. When I came out of his house, he said, life's going to change from tomorrow. And I said, it can't do. I'm in a basement of this guy's house, I don't know, on a blow-up mattress. The very next day, my life changed. I got a part-time job, led to a full-time job. So my first pay packet, I went back to, got a little card and a little teddy bear, that's all I could afford. And I went back to John's apartment to drop it off. And when I got there, it looked like it was, no one's living there. So I'm knocking on the door, and the woman came out and she says, can I help you? And I said, yeah, where's John moved to? And he said, John? There's no John there. I've been here for a year and nobody in that apartment. So I let her close the door, knocked on the other side, and a big muscly guy came to the door. And I said, can you tell me where John's relocated to? And he said, John? I said, yeah, next door. And he said, and I quote, there's been no one in that apartment for at least 1 to 2 years that I know of. You can't go in there. It's derelict. The floorboards are unsafe. You have the wrong address. I went back to the meeting when I first saw him. And I said to the chairman, do you remember me and John? He said, oh, I remember you, Rob. I remember you. I said, we were over at the coffee machine speaking to each other for about an hour. And he said, Rob, you was over near the coffee machine speaking to yourself for an hour. Never found that man. What I do today is based on what he taught me.
Oh, what? Are you serious?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Been telling this story for years. I wouldn't, first of all, for the first 20 years, I won't say anything, Larry, because it just sounded stupid. And I sounded stupid saying it. But it happened. This is why we're so successful, I believe, because we've got our heart in this game. We've not got anything about money or anything else. We're doing it for the right reasons, and we know the way.
So tell me, what do you tack all that up to?
I hate saying it now. It was some kind of angel, because when I got wealthy, when I come off the streets, like he told me, and I went wealthy, and I come over to the United States 15, 16 years ago, we hired the best private detective in Manchester, England. Trace this guy, could never trace him. Never find anything, never heard before. But I've been through some things in my life, like a cancer scare. It was disappeared by the time they're going to operate. It just goes crazy. But it all came from John. My life changed when I met that guy. I don't believe in coincidences, Larry.
Yeah.
I also, wow, I met that guy there. And then one day I sat down, there's too many things happening here. It's not coincidence.
Wow. That's probably one of the most incredible stories I've heard on this podcast yet. Never heard anything like that.
About homeless and where I am today, it's virtually impossible. I'm one of the well-known addiction doctors around. And I have 5 practices across the world. We do TV, we do books, we do radio, we do, high-profile people. I mean, we are the guys, very quiet guys, but we are the guys that everybody comes to in the media, in the news, in the football, actors, whatever it is. They come to us from homelessness. Somebody had to have a part to play, because I hate to tell you this, guys, I'm not this clever. I'm really not.
All right. So are you a faith-based Christian man?
I am, yes. I've a spiritual journey, and my God is God and Jesus. Just happens to be. I don't care if it's the universe, Uncle Jimmy, or whatever it is you believe in. But when you do believe in it, and you have a psychic change, which is a change of neural pathways, what we do, your DNA changes. You're not the same person as you was before, and we're all about that. We're all about that belief. We're all about that change. We're all about putting families back together and making people successful and believe that anybody at any time in the world can do anything you want to do. Stop putting restraints. And people say to me all the time, well, I can't be president of the United States. Drop the political view for a second. We have a business around the country with no political experience. Don't tell me you can't do everything you want to do. So we're great believers in that.
Wow. So tell me, were you a doctor before being homeless, or did you go back to school, or was this after?
I was in the psychology world. I have 2 PhDs, one in behavioral science, and I went back to college about 12 years ago and got my PhD in behavioral science. So yeah, I was on this. I went to Oxford, and again, I was 16. I met this guy whose dad was a Freemason, and they asked me to play organ, and it just seems to all fall in place for me being here today. So yeah, someone's got a hand in it somewhere.
Wow. That is unreal. So I want to go back to, you mentioned before we hit the record button that all trauma usually starts with childhood and addictions. So was this the same for you? Did you have childhood trauma?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So when you say that to somebody, do you have trauma? They automatically go to divorce, plane crash, huge car crash, in a fire. It's like, no, we have to start defining what trauma looks like to us back in the day and why it's affecting us here. See, let's say the real easy one I can explain is girls come to me all the time and go, why do I keep attracting the same guy that ends up to, drink too much and ends up with violence? And we go right back to your caregivers and they go, oh, yeah. Because what happens as a child, they're teaching us how to live and right or wrong. So if I see my dad coming home every night after drink and getting into arguments, even violence with my mom, I'm going to start to believe that that is normal. So what happens to the girl in that relationship is she goes out to the wide world and she attracts one of the same guys and they do fight, and they split up and she goes on to the next one. You see, what happens to that girl if she went out to a normal relationship where the guy takes care of her, she'll self-sabotage that because it'll feel unreal. She doesn't deserve it.
I'd really like to explore that psychology just a little bit more, if you don't mind, which is this. Gosh, man, we know, everyone I think knows people like this in their life. And why do we do that? So like someone who grows up with an experience, I'll just share this with you. You can feel free to dissect it any way you want. So my wife, who I've been married to now for 20 years as of this year, every relationship. So I come from a childhood where, my dad left not once, but twice.
Cool.
Didn't even have a relationship with him until I was 30. My mom was married 3 times. It was a revolving door constantly of men who were drinkers, partiers, drugs, all that crazy stuff. And every girl that I dated, this sounds crazy now that I'm saying it out loud, because I guess I'm way more evolved and a totally different person. It's interesting about the DNA thing. Totally different person than I was back then, which is, I always viewed relationships as, this is temporary. This won't last. Marriage is the beginning of divorce. And so when I met my wife in college, I broke up with her 7 times. Like, it was a joke. Like we were together for 5 years. I broke up with her 7 times. And it was always like, this can't be as good as I think it is. So I would like literally sabotage the relationship. And she would always say like, why did you break up with me? I'm like, I don't know. I think it was because like I loved you so much and I knew probably at some point it was going to be over. So I might as well be the one to make sure it was over before it happened to me. Like, that's the only thing I can explain. But I've grown my way out of that. It took a lot of work, a lot of therapy, but I still don't know. My wife was like, why'd you do that? I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
I'll tell you exactly how you did it, because it's learned behavior and measurement from parents. So you always in a situation where the mom and dad split up and your dad went, he come back and he went again. So in your mind, it's like nothing lasts forever. Don't get attached too much to anything that you can't run away from, because that came from dad. The parents and the acting out from mom also confirm that. So when you date, and you said it, Larry, I'm going to do you before you do me, because I know you're going to do me. I know you're going to leave me, so I'm leaving. I'm taking this power back, and I'm leaving this relationship. And that's what we do all the time until you do your work around you, then that stops. But that's natural behavior. The learned behavior from parents goes like this. So we bought a huge mason jar and we stuck 1,000 fleas in it. Now, fleas can jump 2 or 3 feet, 4 feet at one time. But we screwed the top on and we left the top on with the holes in it for about 3 days. Then we took it off. Not one flea would jump higher than where the lid was, which was interesting, learned behavior. But let's talk about learned behavior from caregivers. When they had babies in that jar, the babies wouldn't jump higher than where the lid was, and they'd never even seen the lid. So we carry all that trauma, all that enmeshment. Moms can pass down depression to kids, called enmeshment. And we carry that depression because what we see is how we feel. And if we're watching mom going through her depression, we're going to take that trait on. And we're not going to feel well. We're going to look sick when we grow, because that's what happened. It all goes back to a place, what we call out the box or in the box. A young lady, 16 years old, schoolgirl, got snatched off the streets in Manchester back in the late 60s, early 70s. There was a huge man, couldn't find her. She was presumed dead. 9 months later, a police car down a country road was following another car at a broken indicator light, stop light. So he pulls him over, searches his car, because you're allowed to back in the day, finds a stolen screwdriver, went back to the house to search for more stolen goods, do with lawnmowers, drills that he'd stolen. But they saw a box in the corner, 4 foot high by 12 foot wide, and they smashed the lock of it and they opened the top. There was the girl that had snatched off the streets 9 months before. If she was alive, he used to take her out, he used to abuse her, restroom, feed, and put her back in the box for 9 months. When the police officer leant over, the woman police officer, and helped this girl out the box, she took a coat off her and she wrapped it around the girl. Guys, what's the first thing she did? She got back in the box, because that's how our mind works. Even though it's a tragic place, even though we know we're going to get hurt, it's a comfort place, and it's the only thing we know right there and then. And that's what people do with their lives, is they get back in that box. They stay in relationships way too long than they should do, especially ladies, and it's all trauma. It's all childhood trauma from the past, and unless you clear it up, you're not going to be as successful as you really want to be.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Can we root? I mean, it sounds like we can root a lot of our adult behaviors and how we were raised, and even not necessarily things that were done to us directly, but even things that were done to us, maybe even indirectly, just things that we saw.
100%. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the reason why you kept finishing with who now's your wife is because of that. You know, all our behaviors are carried on into adult life because it's the only thing we know. So it's about going back to what we call the scene of the crime and picking that trauma apart. Because when you're living in a relationship like your mom and dad who left you, abandoned you, is what happened. He abandoned you. So you're not going to trust anybody ever again when he abandons you. What happens with our brain is we come with all the feelings and everything, is we can't tell the difference between love and anger. We can't tell the difference between hope and abandonment. It's all mixed up because our brain can't handle all them thought patterns. We've not dissected them. Because when your dad comes home and he leaves you, that's supposed to be love. But it's not. It's sadness and abandonment from your father. But he loved you, so you will go on to do that with relationships in your life. You will leave and go back and leave and go back all of the time. Specific. So we have to go back, uncover what it is, discover what it's about, and discard of that stuff. And that frees you up to move forward.
And how do we do that?
There's a lot of things we do. We go back, we look at the ACA book, we use neuro-linguistic programming, we use brain spotting, amongst other things. But we need to take you back right to that place and start uncovering, writing, going through it, using brain spotting, which is a great tool, not long been out, to uncover all that stuff. And then we move on as we uncover it.
Wow. So let me ask this. Are we ever truly rid of trauma, or do we just learn how to deal with it better through therapy and reprogramming?
We still have some that's hard to go. Start from that, you'll see something and go, whoa, right back to that thing. Because babies are born with two fears. The fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. That's all it is, two fears. The rest are man-made. Wait till your father gets home. Your dad's left again. All these fears are put on us all the time. They're not real. They're not real. So then fears will come back in certain places with memory recall. We don't like the word triggers. So what happens is in the subconscious brain, everything you've done from birth, seen, touched, felt, whatever it is, all stored there. Nothing is lost. Oh, I can't remember that. Yeah, and certainly if we put you in a place where we work with you, you remember that because everything is back there unless you have some sort of brain injury. So what happens is you come across a situation that drags you right back to childhood. Okay, so a strong relationship right back to childhood. Dad left. I'm not going there. All of the time, going right back. The prefrontal cortex is our decision maker. So what happens when a situation happens? We rely on our subconscious mind to make a decision quick. Because the prefrontal cortex has one important job, and that is to come up with a solution to your problem as quick as humanly possible. The only thing is, if you've seen something or something has, recalled a memory, that'll go to the prefrontal cortex, and that's the way you feel and act every single time. So what we do is rewire neural pathways. There are billions in their head. So your knee-jerk reaction now is not to self-sabotage, but to make a decision based on the current situation, not in the past. When we get hurt by somebody, and again, women, sorry, girls, women do this a lot. They get hurt in the first marriage. You have no boundaries to step over to get, hurt psychologically. And what happens is what they've suffered in the first marriage, they carry over to the second marriage. So the guy who has nothing to do with this ends up paying for the first guy. You see, if you've been cut by the first guy and don't resolve that and heal that wound, you're going to bleed all over the second guy for him. It's not even his fault. And you bounce from relationship to relationship and to relationship. And to put that together, going back to mother or father, it's very hard. People are surprised. Oh my God, that's why I do it. Exactly why you do it.
Wow. Let's put our fatherhood lens on now for a second. So we talked about relationships as romantically. When it comes to parenting, how have you seen this really come to the surface?
You see it a lot with obviously children growing up, and you see the traits on them always. I think looking at you've got to look at bringing children up as a father a whole different way than what your parents did and the parents before, because they carried the Second World War over and other stuff, and they dropped the ball. My father dropped the ball because he'd come to the Second World War, and by the time he gave children, his way of treating children was just to stay away, don't get involved, never show any emotion. So we really have to look at the new fathers in the world, that we put our children first. Anything less than nurturing as a child is child abuse. It's a known fact. So we got to look at the father in a whole different kettle of fish as we go forward, to provide, to love, to understand. There's a great cartoon around, and grandfather smacking father with a ruler, and yet father smacking his child with a ruler. And then the child grows up, and that's his baby, and he sat down playing games with them. So that's when we break the cycle. That's when we break the cycle. And as fathers, we have to stand up and be counted with these children, because if we don't, they're going to take on our traits, our depression, our moods, our whatever it is. They're going to take them on and run with that and think that's normal. Like my eldest child, Charlotte, I'd not seen her for 20-something years, and I wasn't a father. I'd lost all parental rights when it comes to that. But she sent me a message on Facebook about 4 years ago. He said, I've just seen you on TV. I want to meet you. I have some good news. And she sent me this long email that I printed off, and it's on the wall in a frame. But I had to learn how to be a father again. My father was drunk on the streets. My being a father I was drunk on the streets. My being a father was not taking responsibility because I couldn't, because I was incapable of at the time. So I had to start rethinking that fathership. And I know when I was so nervous, stood on the step, and when she opened the door, not seeing her since she was 3 years old, and she was now 30, we hugged and we cried, and all of that stuff come back, guys. What kind of person are you? What kind of father are you? You dropped every ball. Where was you for a first bike ride? All this stuff was in my head, and we hugged, and she said, I want to show you something. And she walked me into her living room, and she handed me my 3-month-old granddaughter. A lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't get to do that. So many people grow up, think, well, I'm the father, I'll do the best I can. Not buying that. I'm not buying that sentence at all. It's like we have the information now. We have the love around the families that we've built over the last 20, 30 years. You've got all the tools you need to be an amazing father. It's your choice not to be. Unless you suffer from a disease like I did. And it's your choice and it's your responsibility to be a father. But men come on and say, well, I'm sober for 3 months now, Rob. You're supposed to be sober. You're a father. You're not getting medals for this. You're supposed to not go home every night and hit the wife and, scream and shout at the kids. Like they're listening to a rattle on the door and they know the difference between a sober rattle and a drunk rattle. And depends on that rattle is, as they're going to run for fear or they're going to wait there for daddy to come in smiling. I mean, what sort of crap is that? Going to live like that anymore.
You mentioned that we now have these resources at the tip of our fingers. We were watching, oh my gosh, I can't remember what we were watching as a family, but there were no cell phones in the movie, right? It was Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
We were watching that, and like he goes to a payphone to call the restaurant to tell the guy and all this other stuff, and they were like, "What was that like?" I was like, "Well, it was cool, but you also didn't have all the information at your fingertips you do now, that kind of thing." I want to ask you about being a pattern breaker. Like this lineage that we come from trauma can be either physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse. Your parents were drunks, drug addicts, whatever. But you stake a flag in the ground and you're like, not on my watch. And I think what men are faced with, and let's just refer to men right now because this is a dad show. What men are faced with is, I know what bad looks like and I don't want that. But I don't know exactly what, I have an idea of what good looks like, but I'm not exactly sure how to get there. And this, I think, is the cross of the pattern breaker that we bear, that we are figuring it out. And it takes a lot of work, to a lot of self-development, a lot of growth, a lot of learning. But I think we're seeing a generation of fathers who are doing that, but that's so hard. So what is the pattern breaker up against?
Yeah. Well, listen, you've got a plan going in everything in your life. You want to change it from tomorrow morning, guys? Do this. Get up in the morning, brush your teeth with the opposite hand. That's a neural path changer. That's a routine changer straight away. If you usually get a shower and grab the coffee first and then take the shower after. Stand in the mirror, and especially men, and say, I love you 10 times. I love you. I love you. Add no other affirmations that store that subconscious brain and start changing patterns. Because the reason why we're not as good as fathers as we want to be is, again, because of childhood trauma. It's like you can change. You can be anything you want. Stick that flag in the ground. From today, I'm going to change. I'm going to always be there. Put my children first all the time. Put my family first and then work. And if you believe in God first, family, and then work, and make sure you spend as much time with your children. So this is the really sad point about human beings is how many times you hear, dads or moms go, last week we were taking her to kindergarten, now she's off to college. That's how quick time goes. We don't have time to spend with our loved ones as much as we think we do. So precious every moment. Go to a self-help group or call us if you want to, and we will show you, teach you, introduce to people who are great dads, and you become a great dad literally overnight. You're already probably a great dad, but if you want to improve that, there's a lot of ways, especially if you still have trauma, you don't introduce that in. We have restaurants around here on a Sunday lunch that when you go in, you have to put your phone into a lockbox and they stick it away. We tell people all of the time, when you sit down for dinner, make sure everyone sits down in their house at whatever clock. They're going to be there. Let's get their family values back. Dads, come on, let's get around the table. And the father is the head of, put them phones away. Nobody brings the phones. Turn off, put them away in your bedrooms, come down and have dinner. Start spending time with quality time with each other, and you'll find out that literally you were born to be a dad. Literally, you were born to be kind. And this just comes naturally once we take everything else away. And it's amazing the bonding for the hour of dinner or the hour of lunchtime, whatever it is, the bonding of no cell phones will change your life completely. So there's 3 things there to change your life instantly, overnight. I'm an instant gratification guy. In fact, instant gratification is usually not quick enough for me. So do these 3 things tomorrow morning, get up, start the day. Just start living life, start being that dad, start being that husband. Stand up and be counted. Well, I'm not. Everybody has the potential, dads, to be a leader. Well, I'm not. Yes, you. You think you're listening to this by mistake? There's no mistake here. There's no, no. Listen to what I'm telling you. You sat at home, listen to this right now. Is one of the biggest leaders that all your friend knows. Look, do proud things for your children. Stand up for them, educate them, take them out, do whatever you've got to do, because you haven't got time, guys. You'll wake up in a few weeks' time and they'll be married and gone. But this is the precious time. And if your children are adults, start, not friends. It's another one I want to tell people. The children are not your friends, guys. Stop thinking like that. You are the father raising them children until you pass away. It's despite what age they are. Oh, me and my son are best friends. Stop that crap. Really, stop it. You're doing the child no favors. Love and protect him. Remember, nurturing, that's the only thing we have to do. The rest is child abuse. He's a friend. I can tell him this joke. No, you can't. Be a great father. Stand up and just be amazing. We're all amazing. Stand up and do it, guys. You'll be surprised, believe me.
Man, I love this. Question for you: for men who don't feel worthy. That's another one that comes up a lot. Well, I'm just not worthy, or putting in the time to be better. They can't get into the discipline of it, right? Or they can't. They'll say yes to something, and so I think one of the easiest examples is the guy or woman, doesn't matter, just the human nature in us. I just signed up for the gym membership. I'm going to get healthy. It's going to be different this time. They go for 2 weeks. They never set foot in that gym again.
Yeah.
And then when you ask them like, well, I didn't really have the time, and then you really get down to the bottom of it and it really just wasn't, they didn't feel that it was worth it. What do you say to those people?
So first of all, if you're feeling that you're never going to amount to anything and you'll never be any good with your life and you're not a great father, I want to apologize to you. Somebody's put that. We're born with $1 million minds. We're born to be leaders. What happens is we let people and family kick that out of us. We end up with 10-cent minds. We're stuck. We have no identity. We're at home. It's what should I do? How can I do it? Do I want to go to the gym? We have a 7.3 second rule. Okay? 7.3 seconds can change your life. It's what splits in your pathways from good to lazy, good to bad, good to evil. You have 7.3 seconds when you think of something. By the time the mind's released into the brain and neural pathways pick that up, it's around 7.3 seconds. So if I'm sat on the couch with my wife, I have a big bag of chips and a big mug of Coke, and I say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to go to the gym. I ain't going to the gym tomorrow. I'm just saying that. But you know something? If I put that Coke down and then chips and go into the bedroom and I get my training stuff, put it in a bag and I put it near the front door, there's a good chance I'm going to go. So when you think of something, guys, get up and do it. I mean, you don't have to do the task. Just get up and do something that moves towards the action that you want to do, but you don't think you can. Do it. I want to send an email for that job. Write it down. Send an email to job 9 a.m. Stick the sticker thing on the wall where you can see it. You see, we're all capable of training. It's well known that if somebody has a training partner, they'll turn up 9 times out of 10 where they wouldn't have turned up on their own. So we can't do this on our own. We have to have other people on our journey. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Be careful who you surround yourself with. If I hang around with 9 depressed people, Larry, I'm going to become the 10th. It's human mirroring part of the brain. Hang around them guys you want to be. And secondly, start acting as if you already got what you're praying for. Start acting like you're an amazing dad. Start acting like you really fit in the gym. Get in there. Get it done. 7.3 seconds. You can do anything you want in the world. Anything, dads, in the world. And we have quantum physics to back that up as well, guys, not just our work. Quantum physics say I can be 12 places at the same time on the basketball court. So if I can visualize me 12 times in different positions, yeah, I can do that. Rob, where do you want to be? Well, obviously over near the goal. I've never played basketball, but if I get the ball, I can put it in the net and I can be the hero of the game. But how are you going to do that, Rob? Well, I can see it. I can visualize. What do? You walk over and you take that position. You don't beg for it. You don't crawl for it. You visualized it. You visualize being an amazing dad. You visualize being a great employee. You visualize, walk over and take it. It's literally that easy. Don't have them doubts. The trauma brings doubts. Well, do you want this job? I don't know. My mom said I'll never be good enough. And my dad left. No, nobody wants him. But stop that. Do your work, take that position, and start living life today. Today, start living life. Brush your teeth with the opposite hand. Easy. Well, I always put my right sock on, put your left sock on. Oh, that's silly. I beg to differ. As a neuroscience expert, I beg to differ completely.
I love your message. And I'm going to steal a lot of these neural pathways because I'm sitting here analyzing my entire day. I'm like, I always brush my teeth with my right. And I'm always like, I always floss my teeth first and then I brush my teeth. Then I scrub my tongue and then it's mouthwash. And it's like literally these patterns. I never interrupt some of those patterns. Let me ask you this, as far as sustainability, and I think I know where you're going to go with this because I think the answer might be people, right? Is show me your friends and I'll show you your future. But when things get difficult or when things don't feel sustainable, what advice do you have for people?
So the way we learn is through our basal ganglia. It's part of the brain. It's our repetition and strength and convert part of the brain. So what happens is, let's say a commercial pilot needs 10,000 hours in the air. He does it that many times, flying 10,000, he can do it with his eyes closed. That's because the basal ganglia has taken, if you can imagine the face of a clock, he's taken hold. Now he doesn't have to think about it. And when you first start driving, the car seems so big. But after you keep doing it over and over again, the car's easy. Now you can reverse down the driveway, you're calling your wife, you're saying hello to Nana, and you're listening to the radio because it's part of the working mind. It's the same thing when we learn something. Get up in the morning and start a new routine. Teeth first, coffee last, mouthwash, whatever it is, you've started the day off. Now the brain is looking for different checks off. Oh, so you brush it, check. Yeah, you made your bed, check. Yeah, oh God, yeah. You call that guy, check. And the brain gets used to winning all the time. And that's when you stick to that pattern until it absolutely sticks. But what happens with most people with trauma, if you can imagine a clock face, is everything seems to be going good. They get a girlfriend, they get a job, they get married, whatever it may be, could even be over a day, this. But around 10 to the hour, everybody self-sabotages that has trauma because they don't think they're good enough. And that decision will be blanked. And we will self-sabotage that part of the basal ganglia. And it's a default back to trauma. And I'm not good enough and I can't do this. And oh my God, what if they find out about me? Oh my God, the imposter syndrome. Unless you repair that, clear up your trauma, you will always repeat that cycle of self-sabotage around 10 to the hour. So once we sort the trauma out and get this new routine in, you watch your life take off because you're not self-sabotaging. And we've all done it in the past. Sometimes we don't even think we're doing it. We attract what we think we are worth. We attract what we think we are worth. So if mum and dad kept telling me, the piece of crap, never going to amount to anything, guess what? I'm probably not. And I'm going to attract them people. So if I've been pushed down in the house, now I want to start taking charge of some other people so I get a lower frequency of person. And I hang around the drug dealers, for instance. 9 depressed people, I'll come the 10th. Nine drug, I'll become the 10th. So we then not go up here. So if we're a 5 on the success, you're not going to a 7. Not with the trauma. You're coming down to a 4 all the time. All the time. You're never going to progress in your life. That's stepping outside the comfort zone. Do one thing every day that scares you. See them new patterns start to emerge.
So, man, so cool. How do you then help people? Take me through a person who knocks on the door and is like, hey, I need help here. What do you do for them?
Well, we have a 90-day program because that's how long it takes to clear all the chemicals and rebalance the brain. It's 1 hour a day for 90 days. You get time with me, my psychotherapist, my coaches, my family systems coach. And if the husband comes on, the wife has to come on, and anybody else over the age of 18. So it's a family. If the guy's getting better from anything, trauma, from loss of work, whatever, we take him to here and the wife's only here. Guess what? He's going to go down there every time he goes home at nighttime. So the wife has to join. And whatever you come to us with, we will fix. In actual fact, we tell people, and we're the only company in the world that does this, that if we don't change you to what you want to be and you take part 100% like you're supposed to, we'll refund your money. Like if you relapse, for instance, we'll refund your money. And people say, you can't do that, it's crazy. We change brains. We change neural pathways. We change the hypothalamus. We change the amygdala and we change the basal ganglia. We change them so you are a different person. It's never not going to work as long as you're in it to 100% and you don't lie to us and you do everything we tell you to do, because we make you into this new person and you're going to love this person, absolutely. And anybody can change to anything. I don't care what you've gone through in the past. It does not define your future. But what your past does is you carry it on your belt to educate and teach people about the trauma. But it doesn't define us. What I was when I was on the streets does not define who I am today. What defines me is repetition. So if I'm doing something every single day, that defines me. If I want to be a pilot and I do that defines I'm now a pilot. It defines what you keep repetitively doing. So if you keep repetitively self-sabotaging or repetitively go through the day and not really achieve anything, that's going to go on for weeks, turns into months, turns into years, turns into decades. I don't care how old you are, you need to change it today and watch. Just if you do that, what I've talked about, guys, and it doesn't happen to you, give me a call. 214-600-0210 is my personal cell phone number. I'll give you a 10-minute pep talk that will change your life. If it doesn't, I'll send you $100 for wasting your time.
My gosh, you really believe in this?
100%. And there's thousands that I've worked with, and from the highest, government people to the biggest pop stars, movie stars, footballers, soccer players. And I mean, we've done them all, and the life has changed in front of people. Oh my God. We worked with a guy that we picked him up from jail. He was done absolutely. We had handcuffs on him and feet chains, and they turned it over to us, and I was responsible for him. That guy grossed the biggest Hollywood movie in the world ever. Anybody can do it. You just got to be ready. You've got to be into it and follow our direction. I put my heart and my soul and my past, and you can have all the money in the bank if we don't do as we're going to say, because it's impossible. And that's how we feel about our program and the guys around us, because we're all doing it for the right reason.
This is unreal, man. And I guess for confidentiality, you can't tell who that was.
No, it was like a strong man, like an Iron Man.
Yeah,
a strong guy, So
wow.
Obviously can't mention any names. I wouldn't dare.
Very cool stuff, man. Well, I want to make sure that the audience can find you and your resources. What's the best place to do so?
So the guys that are watching, you can see my name. Guys who are not, I spell my name with 2 B's. ROBBKELLY.com is the website. Jump on any search engine, put Dr. Robb Kelly, 2 B's in. I'll come up all over the place. Say hi, friend us, send us messages, do anything we want to do. And if we can help you, great. I will tell you now that you'll probably see some good stuff online and go, oh my God, I want to work with these guys. There's a waiting list and you have to pass an assessment. We don't think we can change you. We're not going to take you on. But hey, you want to call us? You want to call the office? We'll speak to you 24 hours a day and help you. Don't worry about that. I'm not trying to sell anything here. You can't buy our services. You have to earn our services. We've turned down more people. So I'm not doing a sales pitch, guys, when I put my name out and everything. It's not going to work like that. But if we can help in any way, if we can inspire you anyway, if you need a speaker or you need to come on your group and talk, all free of charge, get in touch with me, man. I've given my personal phone number out. I couldn't do that if I wasn't studying the trenches still from where I become. See, I've got all these millions of dollars. I live in crazy lifestyle, because why wouldn't I? Before I die, I'm going to live like crazy. But my feet are still in the trenches to work to help people that need helping. We also have a foundation, RobbKellyFoundation.org. Jump on there. And then we use that to help people, trauma people who want to get their life back. They might need an apartment. We'll give 6 months apartment rent. Alcoholics and addicts trying to get the kids back. We'll pay for your court costs and all that stuff. So me and my wife personally gave $150,000 back to the community in England and the USA this year. And we do that. We'll continue to do that because we're all about helping. We are not about the money, despite what you see the programs I'm on. It's got nothing to do with the money. I'm trying to help as many people as I can before my time is done on this.
Wow. Give back what you experienced.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
People ask me, you say, God, why did you do that? And I said, if that Derek hadn't walked around the corner and saw me and stopped, I'd be dead. In actual fact, I died twice on the streets and they brought me back. So I want to be like Derek to as many people as I can. Why wouldn't you help? It's not, if I've got 20 grand in the safe, because we just keep that, and someone comes to the door that knows us and wants 10 grand. Who am I to keep that? It's not my money, it's God's money. What I'm going to sit is let that sit for like a year in the safe. This guy can't afford his rent. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to always remember the guys that helped me out of that stuff, because there's so many who couldn't help me. I was far gone. I was a useless. I stabbed my wife 3 times one night because she won't let me finish my bottle of vodka. That's how crazy I was. And everybody, Larry, had given up on me. He used to spit on the floor, walk over me. I was a disgrace. I was only a disgrace for so long before somebody stepped in and go, Rob, I can help you. And I introduced it to the guy that can help you. I always want to be that Derek and that John for everybody out there. And I'm scared of missing an opportunity in case that's the one that God's put in front of me. So we cover everything.
I feel that sense of urgency in you big time. You're doing good work, man. You're doing God's work, and it's such a beautiful story of redemption as well. So, and thank you for coming on today, gentlemen. We're going to have all the links in the show notes. Not to worry. You can head on over to thedadedge.com/Friday 109 for the show. Again, thedadedge.com/109 for this show. If you want to connect with Dr. Robb Kelly, again, that's with 2 B's, ROBB Kelly, KELLY. So, Dr. Robb, thank you so much for coming on today. This was an incredible story, to say the least. And I love the knowledge bombs that you bestowed upon us as well. So thank you for that.
My pleasure, Larry. Thank you for having me on, guys. And thank you for listening.
You bet. Gentlemen, go out, live legendary. Take care.